There are three moments in photography. One is very intuitive, is photography. It's when you take the photograph. So if you take this frame instead of that one, instead of that one, why? It's because it's a judgment. It's your vision. And this vision is fed why? By your own personality, by your history, by the emotions, by the argument you had with the girlfriend the night before, by what you read, by what you know about the country. These are all judgments, okay? So you take this one. Intuitive, but intuitive which is fed. Okay, that's it. Then you edit, which means when I go anywhere I spend 6 weeks normally when I go somewhere. I spend 6 weeks. 6 weeks I shoot. In the old days it was 150 rolls. Now it's like 6,000 photographs I bring back, which is the same ratio. It's always the same ratio. It's something very interesting. So then in the old days you used to edit the contact sheet when that's finished. So you edit on the screen. So out of, let's say, 5,000 or 6,000 photographs, I choose 150, which I think are interesting. Then I have an assistant who manipulates them and sends them to a lab. Then I have small prints made. Then the small prints, I line them on the table, long table in my studio. And they stay there a couple of days or maybe a little more. In the morning, sometimes even before showering, I go and start taking pictures out. Basically, editing is taking out, is reducing. Then I make a sort of small sequence of, let's say, between 30 and 50 photographs. And these, I show them either to a photographer in Megnoom or to an editor, because sometimes the photographer is too involved in his own photography, in the event, not the photograph. The photograph is not great, but he's so involved in it emotionally that he thinks it's great. So you need somebody else's eye. So then I say, okay. Then we come down to, let's say, 40 photographs, and these are go online. They're captioned, properly, and they go online. So that's one shot. So this is the second. The third one, which is probably intellectually more pleasing moment, is when you do the final project. Let's say I've just finished a book on the Hindus. I spent 3 years shooting, and I have very small prints, laid on the table, and I decide, the actual final sequence for the book, because the book is the final statement. Even more pleasing intellectually is when you do the sequence, because this is when you write. Photography, I call myself a photographer, writing with light.